like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and Bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter Dennis Sperling Podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dennis Sperling Podcast, tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch, hate watch. Calling lovely ladies, hands on your knees. You can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens. We obliterate them. Hella truth, chain the devil. They trying to eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters. Peeling layers off potatoes. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Sperling Podcast. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Sperling Podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else. What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Dennis Sperling. I am an attorney. I'm a lawyer. I'm a father. I'm a dad. I'm a podcaster. I'm a YouTuber. I'd like to welcome everybody to the broadcast. I want to talk to you guys about a subject today. As you see, the title is Texas High School Punishing Black Teen Over Length of His Dreadlocks. So what I'm going to do at this point is cue up this story, which many of you know about, some of you may not. This is a story of a young man who has been embroiled in a fight over his hairstyle or his hair choice, style of hair. I'm going to let this play. Hopefully you can hear it. If you can hear the volume, if you can hear the sound, let me know. I want to make sure. But basically, this young man, his name is Daryl George, and he's been out of school for over a month, okay? Because of dreadlocks. They basically removed him because his hair is too long and it violates the school dress code. Now, black folks have been in an uproar about this, and I have an opinion about this. It's probably not very popular, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to let this play so you all can hear what has to be said. This is his mother to the left. Now, mind you, I want you to understand something that's unique about Daryl George. He is he's a junior in high school, but he's also 18 years old. So in effect, what you're looking at is a grown man, okay? You can sign up for the Marine Corps, military, go out and get a Job Corps, whatever. And this is, and because of this situation, you know, this young man is prevented from graduating because he's been put into alternative education, so he's not getting the full experience of what he should be getting in high school. Suffered several suspensions and so on and so forth. And you know, to me, it seems as though it's a big distraction. This has been a big deal on the internet, especially amongst black folks. I see a lot of local politicians hanging around. Let me see if I can let this play. Y'all use. Fair use. All right. So that was very 18. All right. So this 18-year-old young man is basically an embroiled in a fight with his school. And shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. If y'all can hear me, hit the number one button. I don't want to be rude, but I want to kind of just get to it. I want you guys to get the full effect of this, man. Make sure you contribute to the super chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. Whether you see this on the rebroadcast or whatever, I'm gonna just stay focused on what we're doing here right now because I think it's important to get this message out. Now, to me, this is not a big deal. All right. I just really didn't think it was a big deal. It's more important for you to graduate from high school than it is to have long hair. And these are not even dreadlocks, these are braids. So, but I want to kind of go over what's going on here. Now, first of all, let me share with you some of the comments. The comment sections are killing Uncle D, boy. They are lighting me up over here. And of course, it's the normal crowd. We're looking at the baby mamas. And look, I said, I don't see the big deal. Cut your hair, right? I got 38 likes and 473 replies. Now, a white man of you don't see it as a big deal. They're saying, of course, you don't see it as a big deal. These are the comments. Had it been Little Jack and Stewie, you wouldn't have an issue with that. So this is my picture on Instagram right here. This is me. Do I look like a white man, or is this just something you trying to say because you want to try to win an argument and then validate what I'm saying? You're an attorney saying this. Of course, you don't see it as a big deal. It doesn't affect you anyway, shape or form. Do you know how long it takes to grow dreads? The history behind them? Of course you do. I do know the history behind the dreadlocks. The Haitians would grow dreadlocks, and in matter of fact, the French referred to them as the dreaded locks. And then it went from that Caribbean island to some of the other Caribbean islands. So that's one of the histories. I'm sure these aren't the first group of Africans who've allowed their hair to grow long. Here's another one. You sound crazy. He's not white. He's not white. That's what's so crazy. He's got to be trolling. I'm not trolling. I'm telling you that this is not that big of a deal. Don't be insecure. We don't want to be like you. Here's the thing, fam. And there's some more substantive arguments. So you don't see a problem with violating his rights, his freedom of speech, expression. So no private entity, private school can create a contract that takes those away. That's not true. That's not true, and the Supreme Court has already ruled on that. And so, either you are going to be wrapped up in litigation. The boy's already 18. Somebody type 18 in the chat room. This young man is 18 years old and he's a junior in high school. All right. He's 18 years old and he's a junior in high school. Somebody in his life has already failed him. And now you got these politicians and all this attention he's receiving, what he considers validation, allowing this young man to be treated like a victim, right? And guess what's happening? He's not making any progress in life. I just want y'all to think about that. Who's benefiting from this man being basically a political football? All right, here's another one. Why should the young man have to cut his hair? Maybe his hair is a way of expressing himself. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with society. Now, don't judge me because of my hair. No, it's an institution. There are rules and regulations that go along with benefiting from an institution. You want to grow your hair long? Do homeschooling. Go to a private school that allows it. But if you're in one of these public institutions, we're going to have some level of conformity. That's not what I said. That's what the Supreme Court said. So, I mean, you guys are welcome to go over there and check out all of these different comments, man, from these people. This is on Hollywood Unlocked. I mean, they really just went at it, man. I mean, and my thing is, it's like, I guess we don't have anything better to do than keep this young man from graduating from college by teaching him that these are the sort of frivolous fights he should pick. Let me say it like this. You need to pick and choose your battles, and this ain't one of them. Now, let's go ahead and read a little bit on this actual story. Y'all hit the #1 button if you can hear me, man. We're going to roll through this, man. Y'all make sure y'all pay me for my time. But let's go ahead and take a look here. So here we are. Make this a little bigger. This is an article that came out on February 2nd. Barbers Hill ISD dress code policy does not violate Crown Act district judge rules. Dale George, 18-year-old black student, okay? 18 years old, high school student, has been repeatedly suspended for his dreadlocks. Lingering questions. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, man. Y'all hang in there. I got to take this phone call. Man, my Uncle D is still at work, man. I'll be right back.
That show coming on, you like?
I don't like that bullshit.
He already started.
I don't know why the hell you telling me.
Dennis Sperling. That show, mama, you know what I'm talking about.
Copy him.
Mama, that go, that man, he just talk a lot of shit. He be up late at night, tuning into all his hits. See my grandmama hate him, and my mama and my titty getting mad. Posting comments like we watching real TV. Mama, that go, that man, yelling from that nigga, what? He's successful attorney on the two, be turning up. We be turning up, we turning up, yeah. We be turning up, yeah, turning up. It's that real spit, like some barbershop talk. Except it's real black men that be walking for me up walk. Intelligent, well versed. Sometimes we might curse, well we cuss a lot. Just like these lovely ladies fuss a lot. Switch it up, tell these suckers gotta pick it up. Move along, me and you ain't brothers, not the womb I'm on. Cross-examination on in the chat room. All the trolls with the disrespect, we in the back room. Huffing and you sucking up the air like a vacuum. Daddy disappeared, told you baby I'll be back soon. I just represent us cause the system can't afford it. I'm your homie, I'm your brother, sometimes a court appointed. Anointed, know you hate it, but I give you fair chosen. Just like Jesus in the house of God, kicking chairs over. Suit and tie soldier, give the cold shoulder. The hate and you talking, not a fucking stain on me. Watch your dame homie, I got that change on me. Black rich, I don't give a shit, bet your dame want me. Mama, they go, that man, he just talk a lot of shit. He be up late at night, tuning into all his hits. See my grandmama hate him.
That's my business. You ain't got a goddamn thing to do with it.
And my mama and my titty getting mad, posting comments like we watching real TV. Mama, they go, that man, he talk a lot of shit. He be up late at night, tuning into all his hits. See my grandmama hate him, and my mama and my titty getting mad, posting comments like we watching real TV. Mama, they go, that man. Mama, that go, that man. Mama, that go, that man. Yeah. Mama, that go, that man.
You understand what I'm saying? Hate me all you want to, baby. I don't mind hating me. Hate all you can. Let me go the other way. Hate all you can. Hate everything. But I'm gonna still make you look good. Black men winning. Okay? Come on. Somebody type that in the chat room. Black men winning. Okay? Because that's just what's happening. We are winning.
We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. Yeah. We winning. We winning. We winning. I know they hating out here. Yeah. I know they mad. They all in their feelings. But baby, I don't care. She calling the police on me and everything. Yeah. Somebody need to get on the phone, call my attorney. Dealing with these hard-headed hoes who ain't learning. Acting all ignorant like a motherfucking menace. She better bundle up, cause bitches about to be winner. Niggas acting timid, why you think she treat a nigga so bad? Turn her only fucking son into a killer. Can't even distinguish who the women, who the bitches. She broke my nigga, even Jesus can't fix it. Navajo nigga, got a man up in prison, but quick to tell you, get your bag up, bitch, quit it. Ever heard of Dennis? Yes sir, get your spurling, we in court early, don't be acting all girly. Keep that same energy, don't need any men. You the man, you the father, you the face of many men. Yep, many Rippleton, taking L's your whole life. While the passport bros taking off the next flight. Some thick, something feminine, rubbing on my shoulders. Be a cold day in hell, Blizzard King try to tell you. A new world is coming, bitch, you better stop sinning. See, God took Kevin, left your sorry ass with Dennis.
Somebody type of old broad in the chat room. Talking about men, you can't find them. That just means you had your chance, boo. You had your chance. And your chance has passed you by. Your husband done went on to the great beyond. He's not there looking for you no more. You done hit one wall. Somebody type one wall in the chat room. You done hit two walls. Somebody say 3 walls. Yeah.
There you go. I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skin, huh?
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Thank you all. I appreciate y'all. Needed to take that quick break. As you guys know, I'm a practicing attorney in multiple states, so sometimes I got folks calling me and I got to get that money, baby. Somebody type "get that money" in the chat room. All right, anyway, so let's get back to the conversation. So we left off with the story about the Crown Act and a district judge in a county north of Houston basically saying, this doesn't apply to this situation. For the most part, you guys, I'll read it to you. A Houston area judge, and you can read along with me. I'll make it bigger so you guys can read along with me. A Houston area judge on Thursday determined that Barber Hill ISD has not violated the Texas Crown Act after the district repeatedly suspended a black student for the length of his dreadlocks. Now, these are not dreadlocks. These are braids, apparently. I don't know if he takes them out or whatever. But Daryl George, and this is a key part, Daryl George is an 18-year-old student at Barbers Hill High School in East Houston, has been repeatedly suspended for dreadlocks. George's family and legal team say his hair is protected under the Crown Act, which prohibits race-based hair discrimination against students and employers, while the school district claims George's has been in violation of the district's grooming policy due to length of hair, not to style. All right. So basically what they're saying is, and for you guys who don't know, what is the Crown Act? The Crown Act is and similar laws protect against race-based hair discrimination by making it illegal to deny employment and educational opportunities based on natural hair texture and protective styles. The legislation, which stands for creating respectful and open world natural hair crown, has been championed by natural hair advocates who argue that Black Americans have faced discrimination in the workplace and schools because of their hair. Have we faced discrimination because of our hair, or have we faced discrimination because of our color? I mean, let's not reduce this down to hair, okay? Because we could cut all our hair off and still be discriminated against. And the thing that bothers me with these new age blackity blacks is that they often trivialize the sacrifices made by ancestors. It just, to me, it's just a pain in the butt. Nevertheless, what hairstyles are protected by the law? Although the language of each law differs across the states that draft them, Crown Act laws generally prohibit discrimination based on hairstyles that are commonly associated with a particular race or culture, including Black hairstyles like locks, braids, Bantu knots. Here's the thing. White boys with long hair down here, they got to cut their hair. Hispanics with long hair down here, they got to cut their hair. Boys can't come to school with long ponytails. Okay, period. Whether you got it up or down, that's the rule. That's part of the requirement. Okay. Now, here's something I want you to pay close attention to. I want y'all to listen to this, okay? A history of discrimination. Discrimination against protective hairstyles. Now, why do they say protective? They say protective because the implication is that it is some sort of health requirement. And so therefore, your health requirement trumps the school's need to have conformity in its institution. If you were so concerned about the health of your hair, I mean, hair follicles are already dead anyway. That's the thing. So what are you talking about? This is just, again, to me, it's just an unnecessary fight. Nevertheless, let's look at it. These protective hairstyles date back to slavery. Do they really? Really? According to, you think that's what our people were worried about during the time period when we were enslaved, our hairstyles? You see how frivolous they make this? Everything is racism, and now nothing is racism. So when somebody who is legitimately discriminated against or suffers racism, you got all these blackity blacks, these modern day clowns out here saying everything is racism. Take that seriously. Racism is a system of oppression where one group of people oppresses another because of their race. Not because of the way in which they wear their hair. That's a custom. Now, this organization advocates for national legislation banning hair discrimination. Okay, so you got long hair. Let's say you got dreadlocks and you work in a machine shop. Where all my machine shop dudes at? Where all my blue collar workers at? You got dreadlocks down to your waist and you doing roofing. You on your knees all the time. Your dreads are long enough to hit the ground when you're on your knees and somebody comes by and steps on your dreadlocks. And then they fall off a second or third story roof. Come on, man. You got safety concerns. You work in a machine shop. It's already bad enough. You got to watch your fingers and toes. I went to Manual Arts High School in South Central Los Angeles. I've worked on machines. I've done carpentry work, auto mechanics, electrical work, plumbing. You got to watch out for your fingers and toes. And now you got to deal with hair. You working with other guys, you in a machine shop, your hair gets caught up in the machine. Now you getting dragged in and getting crushed. Come on, man. This is what we fighting about. But let's read on. Let's read on. Somoya said culturally, for many Black people, hair care has been an intricate part of just our way of being, linked with family and community pride. Really? Since when? You see things like bonding time between mother and child. This sounds like some little girls do. Are you telling me you grown men are sitting there between your mama's legs, letting her braid your hair? You men who got little boys, you letting your woman, your child's mother, you got this grown ass child sitting in this 13, 14, 15-year-old boy sitting between his mama's legs, getting his hair braided and washed. That's how he's spending his Saturday. Really? This is what we doing? Let me tell you a personal story, fam. So my youngest son, his mama, she Jamaican. And, I know some Jamaicans, not all Jamaicans, because most Jamaicans are pretty damn conservative. And Jamaicans in Jamaica, they have a different understanding for the dreads and the dreadlocks and the long hair. Jamaicans are pretty damn conservative. You would think, oh, the way they talk about the dreadlock roster, no, they don't run nothing. They call them Bushmen. And when they see them, they don't call them by name. They just say Rastaman, Rasta. It's not like these people are held in high regard. It's a religion. It's a sect. We get it. Bottom line is he came out here with that. I let him come visit a couple times. Hair down to his neck. He came out once. He came out again. I cut it all off. Gave him a nice, high, tight fade. You understand? Just like the rest of my kids. A nice, high, tight fade. Mother flipped the lid. Ah! I don't care. Period. Why? Because boys don't need to have long hair. It's too much of a distraction. My middle son, Roman, he was taking a little too long to get out the bathroom in the morning because he's in there putting moisturizer on. Guess what he got? High, tight, fat, Marine Corps style. You understand? High fade, Marine Corps style. You're boys. You have other priorities other than worrying about your hair. But let's read on. You see these things like bonding time between mother and child. When it's wash day or get your hair braided, she talking about a boy. If you have an older sibling, she said, those relationships around our hair are also strengthening familial ties. You let me get this straight. Black boys cannot read on the proper level in some of these states, but you're bonding, you're making your relationship stronger over hair. That's how you strengthen familial ties. Not by reading to your son, not by making sure he's studying for extra classes. No, by sitting braiding his hair, combing the dandruff out of his hair. That's what you're doing? That's where we at, huh? But for centuries, Black people, especially women, have faced discrimination because of their hair. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Huh? A Samoa said historically Black people's hair has been stereotyped and disrespected, in some cases even referred to as unsightly or wool. She also noted in 1786, Louisiana enacted a Tignon law, the Tignon laws, which required Black women to cover their heads in cloth. Many women rebelled by wearing elaborate dresses. Why did they do that? Huh? Why did they do that? They just don't like our hair so much. The dominant culture just hates our hair so much. No, that's not what it was. And see, this is what I'm talking about. These modern day pro-blackity blacks, instead of for jobs, for education, for business opportunities, they want to fight over something trivial that means absolutely nothing. But I'm gonna go ahead and fill you in on this, because I've actually talked about this before. What was this about? What were these Tignon laws about? Huh? Somebody type Tignon in the chat room. Tignon in the chat room. Tignon laws. Okay? The Tignon laws were passed in 1786 by Governor Esteban Rodriguez Miro and aimed to prohibit Creole women. Somebody type high yellow, Creole women, mixed race women from displaying excessive attention to dress in the streets of New Orleans. Why do y'all think that was? The law stipulated that they must wear a tignon, a type of head covering or scarf to cover up their hair. Why do you think that is? Huh? This ain't got no mention about no boys. Okay? There's no mention about black men with long hair. This has exclusively to do with women. Why is that? To understand how the tignon laws came to be, one must first, here it comes, one must first understand the history and culture of Louisiana during the 18th century. Louisiana was a French colony from 1682 to 1763. Then it became a Spanish colony from 1763 to 1801. Now the French are loose. Somebody type loose in the chat room. The French are loose. They smashing everything. Just like the Portuguese, they were smashing everything. That's why when you go down to Brazil, you got so much mixed race going on. Same thing with the French. Them French was hitting everything, and it was a French colony, so you had a bunch of mulattoes and Creole women walking around. And guess what happened? When it became a Spanish colony, Spanish laws were put in place that drastically impacted the lives of the enslaved people of Louisiana. Before there was a little more free under the French. But under Spanish rule, enslaved people under the coercion could buy back their freedom. So you had a bunch of free black people walking around. All right? While the majority of the slaves, black people, didn't benefit from this, some slave people were able to buy their freedom, and this led to the growth of a free black population in Louisiana, enabling them to build wealth. By 1800, the free black population had grown to 1,500, which in turn impacted the culture and the society of Louisiana. A lot of those black women down there were the children of their slave masters. They were Creole. They owned slaves themselves. They began to do what? Huh? What did they begin to do? Those black women began to engage with those white European men. One of the ways it impacted society was that it led to a significant rise of interracial relationships. And white boys was walking down the St. Charles Avenue, and they saw one of them fine Creole women with that beautiful hair, that long, beautiful hair, and that golden tan skin with those cute features. They had the best of both worlds. And they start wifing them up. That's what happened. That's why these Tignon laws came into place. So what ended up happening, they end up saying, well, we got to make these women, we got to ugly these women up. We got to cover up their hair. That hair of theirs is that's just too attractive to these white men. White women and white men would say, no. We're going to have a bunch of Creole babies. That's why we got all them folk down there in Louisiana that look like they got something in them right now, because most of them do. That's what this was about. That's what the Tignon laws was about, to keep them white men from being so attracted to black women. Women of African descent. Furthermore, women of African descent during this period explored their style. They was rich. They had money. What were they doing? They was out there, they putting jewels in their hair and feathers, walking down the esplanade, elaborate hairstyles, right? And you know women, when they know how to dress, oh man. Their elaborate hairstyles were so enchanting and regal, it exuded the image of wealth. And these changes in the culture and fabric of society were seen as a threat to social order in Louisiana. What was social order? White folks on top, dark people on the bottom. So what happens when you get these fine women of Creole descent marrying into the upper echelons? What happens then? Well, this is starting, first of all the good white men are being taken because they want to get one of them Creole women. And even if they don't marry them, they get them pregnant. Now they got to take care of these kids. So the resources are going to another community other than the white community. This is destroying the social order of Louisiana. That's what the Tignan laws were about. It didn't have a damn thing to do with this boy right here and him deciding that he wanted to have dreadlocks in his hair. Okay? Has nothing to do with this. You understand me? But they will pick and pull anything they possibly can to try to win these arguments. That's why I do not like these modern day pro-blacks. I do not like them. They will use all the hard fought battles that our ancestors underwent to try to win any argument. Everything is racism. Everything is the situation. All right? Some people disagree with the fact that this young man was told, no, cut your damn hair off, son. No, you can't have your hair that long. No. Why? Because it's part of the school dress code. But why? I'm not hurting anybody. Well, we say cut it anyway. Now, the question that you want to ask yourself, how can they do that? It's the law. No, I have a right to freedom of speech. It's limited. There was already a case about this. This case was the Supreme Court case ruling. In its summary, prior to 1969, student free speech. Student free speech addressed the right of students to speak their minds freely. Tinker versus Des Moines Independent School District expanded the legal definition. It includes clothing as the first dress code law mandated by the Supreme Court. Tinker involved a large group of Des Moines high school students who wore black armbands at school to protest American participation in Vietnam. In a decision that set the standard for school dress codes, the Supreme Court ruled that the schools have a legal right to prohibit student expression. Listen, the schools have a legal right to prohibit expression if the expression disrupts the academic environment or violates the legal rights of others, period. Now, who determines that? The damn school determines if it violates. 7-2 ruling. This is a 7-2 ruling. I believe this is actually the Warren Court. This is 1969. It's a very liberal court. Now we got 6 conservatives, or is it 7? 7 conservatives up on the Supreme Court. What's going to happen if this case goes up there? It's going to get reaffirmed, the Crown Act. And here's a decision in a nutshell. And I'm talking about the Tinker versus Des Moines case. And what happened in that case was this. A public school in Des Moines, Iowa, students plan to wear black armbands at school as a silent protest against the Vietnam War. When the principal became aware of the plan, he warned the students that they would be suspended if they wore armbands to school because the protest might cause disruption in the learning environment. Despite the warning, some students wore the armbands and were suspended. During their suspension, the students' parents sued the school for violating the children's right to free speech. The U.S. District Court of the Southern District of Iowa sided with the school's position, ruling that wearing the armbands could disrupt learning. The students appealed the ruling to the U.S. Supreme Court at the 8th Circuit, but lost and took it to, so they lost all the way up. And in a 7-2 decision, the court's majority ruled that neither students nor teachers shed their constitutional rights to freedom of speech or expression at the school's gatehouse. The court took the position that the school officials could not prohibit only the suspicion that the speech might disrupt the learning environment, the dissent. And then they went back and turned that around and said that they can. You understand? So this is what we're dealing with. They have a right to limit your behavior. If they feel like it will disrupt school. Now, let's look at this young man's hair. Some of y'all will say, well, that's not bothering nobody, Uncle D. Why can't he have his hair like that? Because the school deems this to be a distraction. The school deems this to be a distraction. And you may be asking yourself, well, why? Why would it be a distraction? There are some rules. There's some reasons. Number one, is out of the ordinary for boys to have long hair. We would agree, right? We would agree with that, right? It's out of the ordinary. It's not the norm. Is it? Is it? Not at all. Now I've taken the time to list some things. Number one, it's not traditional. That's what I mean. The reason you go to university, the reason you go to high school, because you want to maintain a traditional and professional appearance. And this is important for an educational setting. And it prepares a student for the workplace and the expectations. I don't want somebody with all that goddamn hair up on their head working around me. And despite what you would like folks to think, people make their own judgments based on how you look, and that includes your hair. We have a lot of issues in the Black community. The last thing we knew. All right, we back with the Texas high school punishing a black teen over the length of dreadlocks, man. You know the YouTube elves are messing with my channel. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get back to it. So we talked about there's some valid reasons behind why we would want to have conformity in schools. Number one, respect and tradition. Okay. What do I mean? What I mean is that you can argue that you want to maintain a traditional and professional appearance is important in the educational setting, and it prepares students for future workplace expectations. Same thing with other institutions, because see, dress code, your freedom of speech is not just limited in a school setting, it's also limited in other institutions, like for instance, prisons, like for instance, the military. Unless you get one of those cards, you're gonna have your hair, you're gonna be clean shaven too. The other thing is long hair is a distraction. Long hair on boys may be seen as a distraction. And it could be still. You got people want to fool with it. They want to look at it. Obviously, you're doing it for attention, and that's considered a distraction. There's already little girls walking around with long hair, but to see a boy walking around with long hair is more of a distraction. Some of y'all don't like that. Oh, well, that's life. And what about the safety concerns, especially if you got a job situation and you're working in a machine shop or a mechanic shop? Or what if you're in the laboratory and you're a science student and you up there dealing with flames and whatnot, and or even other physical activities? I've seen enough football players get their hair snatched back while they're running for a touchdown up the sideline. Hygiene is another issue. Sometimes Hell, you can barely get a young kid to brush their damn teeth and put some damn deodorant on, and now you got to clean that stinking hair all the time, and you come in there smelling like a pig farm. I'm not saying that's the situation, but everybody is not the same. Even if this person has higher higher standards of hygiene, some others won't. And so now you got little white boys walking up in there with all his hair on their hair, smelling like outside. It was cool when the little black dude did it, but then when the little white boy did it, coming in there because he ain't putting enough soap on him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't putting no shampoo. He just hopping in the shower, rubbing off. It's just like he came straight out the wilderness. And now you're mad. Here's another one. Gender norms. Somebody type gender norms in the chat room. Don't we like gender norms? Right? We like gender norms, don't we? That's something we argue about all the time. Yeah, man, a man is a man and a man. Yeah, well, this is one of them. Boys don't have long hair. Okay? Traditionally speaking, gender norms and appearance help students understand their societal expectations and roles. Now, if you one of those people who believe in the he, she, him, her, they, them thing, well, okay, maybe you disagree with me. I'm one of those people that believes in gender norms. I believe boys should be boys and girls should be girls, and they should dance, they should act and dress accordingly. There it is. Another thing, professional development. Encouraging students, what you want to do is school is supposed to encourage students to conform to certain dress code standards. That's going to help them prepare for the future. You go up in the courtroom and your attorney is sitting down there with dreadlocks and beads and what's next? Now we got pink-haired, dreadlock wearing folks defending us. Are you really going to take them seriously? Is the jury really going to take them seriously? Do they even take themselves seriously? Probably not. Probably not. So same thing in the corporate office. Yeah, it's one thing you Jay-Z and you worth $1 billion, but you calling the shots. But as long as you in somebody else's job, as long as you on somebody else's property, doing the job they pay you to do, they want you to look like everybody else. There's certain dress codes that you have to comply by. What's next? Huh? And there's another thing you got to deal about. You become a target because you're different. You know how kids are. Peer pressure, bullying. You got long dreadlocks. The girls like you, so the other dudes want to fight you. Right? So you get peer pressure from other dudes because you don't conform to the same style. And that impacts the school's social dynamics. So there are legitimate concerns that the schools have. On top of the fact that they don't want a bunch of little long-haired, dreadlock-having boys walking around their school. That interferes with their image and their reputation. Because some of these colleges don't want people there. They don't want people who come from that environment. And if that's all in your yearbook, they don't want you there. Same thing with the job market. People who come to these high schools to recruit. There are legitimate reasons. There are legitimate reasons that can be pointed to as to why this is not something that's acceptable. This is why this is a violation of the school code. And the bottom line is the school has a right to do it. So what you gonna do about it? So now, let's recap. Y'all still with me? Hit the number 1 button, baby. You mad? Somebody type blackity blacks in the chat room. Where are my blackity blacks at? Somebody type blackity black in the chat room. You mad? And I ain't taking no callers today. We're not doing any. This is what need to be said. Because see, the problem is, fam, black people are distracted. We fight a whole lot of unnecessary battles. And it has a lot to do with the fact that we're being led by the wrong. I'm gonna do something. And you can call me sexist. You can call me sexist, whatever you want to say. But at this point, from what I see in the world, any movement that I see that is led by African American women, I'm not following it. I know, I said it. Oh, he's a sexist. Any movement that's spearheaded by Black American women, I'm not following it. I'm not following it because we have politically different ideology. We have politically different goals. Different. We have a damn near diametrically opposed set of political views. That's why you have so many Black men who are now leaning more conservative publicly. And I just tell you, brothers, to vote your interests. So if this is something that's led by Black women, oh, you shouldn't be forced to cut your hair. I'm not, that's gonna make it I'm gonna look at it with a jaundiced eye. Now, there's a caveat. If I'm looking at a Black woman who has a strong Black man in the household and they're a married couple or they've been together so long, then I might be inclined to listen to that because she's under the leadership. She has that balance in her life. But anytime I see somebody's baby mama, somebody's single mama out there with some female politicians and some Black male simps leading the charge for something, I'm going the other way, man. I'm not wasting my time. It's a waste of time. We need strong Black male leadership. And what a strong Black male father would do is say, son, cut your hair. You've been fighting this battle for 2 years. You're 18 years old and you're a junior. There's a great big world out there for you to experience. You can grow your hair back. You can become a rich billionaire and employ whoever you want to employ. And you can have whatever dress code you want to have. But as long as you're in this institution, your whole point and purpose here is to get your education and move on. This should be just a small 3-4 year drop in the bucket of time this shouldn't be a big event. Cut your hair, son. You don't see the big picture. Our ancestors fought and died just for us to be able to read. And here you are, oh, I'm not gonna read what you want me to read. I'm not gonna learn because you won't let me have my hair long. You sound like an idiot. You're an 18-year-old man, young man, if you're listening, cut your damn hair, finish high school, go on to college, get you a good education out of there, get you a job, start your career, start your own business, and do what you want to do. Grow your hair down to your tiptoes if you want to, man. But don't let this insignificant fight that you're having be something that affects you for a lifetime. Don't allow these politicians to use you as a pawn to push their own personal agenda. I stood up for the little boy that was trying to let his hair grow and finish it. He just wanted his education. No, he doesn't just want his education. If he just wanted his education, he'll conform, cut his hair off, go to school and get his education, be finished. What he wants, or what they want, or what they're telling him he should have, or otherwise he's a victim, is to have his way. So somebody type, he wants to have his way. Where have you heard that from before? He wants to have his way, just like his mama. Hell with what the law says. I can do what I want. Isn't that right? Speak the truth, shame the devil. Come on, talk to me now. I can do what I want to do. You can't tell me nothing. Who gonna check me, boo? These protective styles were never meant for men. If you want to talk about the Tignon laws, this was so these white men would not be as attracted to these biracial Creole women. That's why they made them cover their hair up. Had nothing to do with little Black boys. But they take and twist these historical facts to fit this modern day narrative, and it doesn't fit. And I'm disgusted by it. I'm disgusted by how manipulative these modern day blackity blacks and politicians are. This is a fight that has it carries nothing. What are you fighting about, man? That's like fighting and dying over somebody stepping on your tennis shoes. You missed the big picture. Go buy a tennis shoe factory. Cut your hair off, son. Finish your education. You're 18 years old. You're going to be 20 years old before you finish high school. You should be a junior in college, at least a sophomore in college. You're going to wait, fight these people in court, be somebody's puppet. Where's your father at? Because clearly your mother is not giving you good direction. Where are the men at in your family to say, cut your hair off, figure out, don't allow this obstacle to get in the way of the objective. And the objective is for you to get an education so that you can earn more money, so that you can know more, so that you can progress in life, so that you can have your own family, so that you can have your own. You just took 2 years out of your life fighting a fight that you can't win because you've already lost. They put you out of school. They're going to have you tied up in litigation for the next 2 or 3 years. You're going to be 23, 24 before you graduate from high school. Your grades probably look terrible. You've been delayed from graduating for how long now? 2 years at least. It's going to be another 2 or 3 years if you appeal it up to the appellate court and then the Supreme Court of Texas and then another Supreme Court of the United States. You're wasting time. This is your life. You're going to be 27 years old, and now your face is plastered all over the internet. This is what you're doing to this black boy. Black America, this is who you supporting. These are the type of fights you support. You got people coming up here from foreign countries, literally invading our country, pushing us out the way, and you fighting over hair. This is, you see why we're not considered a serious people. You see why? This is not serious. It's not a serious fight. It's not at all. The objective is for this young man to get his education. And many of you are so foolish that you would support him on this fool's errand to be used by these politicians and these other people to let him play the victim role again. That's all they do. They set us up to play the victim. Yeah, you poor victims. Poor victims. While they kids are over here in these private schools, snorting cocaine, drinking alcohol, doing whatever the hell they want to, get paid and bought for into these. Their Ivy League entry gets bought and paid for, and they end up being CEOs of somebody's company at 20-something years old. This boy's still going to be fighting to graduate from high school. That's what you're telling me? And with this conservative Supreme Court we have, he stands no chance. So this is a fool's errand. Foolish. All for what? Because he don't want a $10 haircut. Hey, look, I got $10 for the boy to get his haircut. Somebody put $10 in for this boy. Somebody in the super chat and the Cash App. I got $10 for him to get his haircut. How much is a haircut? $10? Is it $10, y'all? Or 10? Or was it about 15? Huh? I line him up for free. I got you, baby. Come through, Uncle D, give you $10 so you can move on with your career. You know what it's like? It's like having two kids fighting over a toy. And so you just take the toy away. Now the conflict is over. Right? Y'all fighting over the hair, just get your hair cut. Now the conflict is over. You finish school. Hell, by the time you graduate in 2 years, your hair would have grown back. You'll graduate at 20 with your hair down. It'll be fine. But right now, you're just wasting time, family. And all you black folks, all you grown black folks who are supporting this young man, you're foolish. And that's why the world sees you as a foolish people. You have a foolish culture that is not meant for you to survive into the future, that's toxic, that promotes degeneracy over dignity, that supports ignorance over intelligence. And instead of being a serious people and taking on serious issues and putting all this energy and vigor to serious issues, you put it towards stuff that's frivolous and meaningless. That's just what I'm saying. That's why you got so many passport bros. Shout out to all the passport bros. That's why you have so many black men divesting themselves of this country. And it's not just the country, of the culture. That's why. That's why you're losing your best and your brightest to people of women of other ethnicities. That's why. These baby mama-led revolutions that lead to nowhere, just a marching circle. You don't have to like me. I am the bad guy. I'm cool with being the bad guy. I'm that uncle that doesn't care what you think. Cut your goddamn hair off, son, and finish high school. You're 18 years old. You're going to be 19, 20 years old in the high school with a bunch of 15-year-olds? When you're supposed to be in college, cut your damn hair. If nobody else is going to speak some sense into you, baby, cut your hair, son, and move on with your life. This is Uncle D. I love y'all, man. As I always say, man, shit. I'm out.